Hey everybody, this is Meredith Lochran, and I am going live on the heels of Rob Anderson to tell you that I am also going to be at Indie Event this weekend. It's been a hell of a ride actually trying to get this organized. For some people, I've actually said that it's almost like catching rainwater in a colander, like herding cats. But we are coming together as an independent group of people who have your independent shows in all of your creative endeavors, and you're going out there and deciding to come together for one special weekend. Now, we didn't want to do this on Independence Weekend because people do their barbecues and they do, the things with the family and try and blow each other up or their neighbors or whatever. Most of us have kept all of our digits. So, I really enjoyed the 4th of July because I had my 13th anniversary, my wedding anniversary. And the neighbors were all blowing themselves up. So we got to watch and snuggle our dogs. But this coming weekend, from July 10th through 12th, is literally about 42 plus hours of content. We are bringing people together under one banner, and it's not anybody's ego thing. It's literally all of these other shows coming together. We have a playlist on YouTube that is under Geek Insider, but we're actually hoping that people will take that playlist and put it on their own YouTube channel and have people drive traffic to these things because these shows are under different networks. We're going to have Indie Vault. We have Geek Insider. We have Wild One Forever. We have comic book studios and productions and artists and writers and authors. I've even got a musician on tap, which I have to schedule in. If you've gone to indeevent.com, that's INDEEVENT.com, you will see the schedule of events. And it's not limited to that, but see, what we wanted to do was make sure that there was a roadmap of content that you guys can watch and enjoy, share, interact with, and maybe there's talent out there that you never knew because it wasn't in your network, but now that you're seeing it under one banner, you are interacting with them and maybe finding new friends and fans. So that is really, for me, it's about finding entertainment. Also, for me, was a lot of damn work because trying to organize this and get the schedule of events has been challenging. But I love doing this stuff, guys. I really do. Because when we work together and we network, we lift each other up. And if you've been to the site, I know it's not a Brian K. Morris quote, but it's one that he always says, and it's part of the Rising Tide Publications mantra. All rising tides, a rising tide raises all ships, I should say. A rising tide raises all ships. And that's true. We have the capacity to lift each other up instead of tearing each other down. And we need that so much these days. And that's why events like this is important. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's about us coming together, having fun. And I'm going to see if I can actually share my screen because it is it's one of these things where I'm not, it's not that I'm not savvy at this, it's just I'm really tired. Yeah, it's been a long couple of weeks trying to get everything kind of squared up and organized and things so that it makes sense. And again, we want a roadmap of, let me just share that with you. I'm not sharing my right screen. Goodness gracious. The last thing I want to do is share my passwords and stuff, right? Let's dox yourself, Meredith, because that's just brilliant. No, seriously. Hopefully, you are seeing the screen for what it is. I'm scrolling up to the top because I'm actually in the back end of the website, and I'm making updates and things. So, if you are a part of this and something's wrong, it's because you didn't tell me, okay? Uh, or I lost the message. In any event, so we're going through here with the schedule of events. Let me just pop in here and make sure. Okay. All right, so hopefully you're seeing this correctly. Schedule events July 10th through 12th. And if you look in here, who's coming? I mean, we've got a lot of talent. We have a lot of different groups and a lot of different shows. They are bringing their own show. It is not Geek Insider hosting a bunch of people. It is definitely not that. Brian K. Morris, he's bringing his own show. Legend of the Traveling TARDIS with Christian Basil and his merry band of Whovians. They're bringing their own show. We've got Terraform Comics. We have The Art of War with Eric Hodson. Rob Anderson. If you were following along, he was just talking about this event. We have Phil Locklear, who is the Demon Phil. He does evening shows with Unscripted, and he does a lot of interviews. Geek Speak is part of the Geek Insider. It's under the Geek Insider banner. We have NSC Live TV. If you don't know who they are, we're going to have, I'm actually going to be sitting with Kevin Guillot and talking about No Signal Comics, so that you can see what that's all about. We have Russ Explode, who decided to start his YouTube channel, so definitely go there and follow him. I think at last count he had 5 followers. So let's boost him and build up his YouTube channel. Luke Stone with Comics Nuts and Bolts. We have Chuck Pinot, who is going to be doing Chuck's Raw Versations. I think he changed the name to that. Ted Davies is going to be there. Hasm Productions, Clever Title Pending. We have J.D. Caldron. Caldron? Gosh, I hope I'm not totally massacring your name. Michael Odin's going to be here. I mean, we have just so many people, and this isn't even all updated. We've got, more people who just need to send me their artwork and stuff. I am working through the night to get the profiles up, the images, and where to watch. Here's the thing. This is the really cool thing, guys. And don't mind my pop-ups and stuff like that. Like I said, I hope that you're seeing this screen and really not anything else. But if you go to Geek Insider, you're going to see the Indie Vent 2020 playlist. Now, hopefully, if everybody schedules their shows, we are able to go in, grab your link, add it to the playlist in order, and then you can take that playlist, you can put it on your website, you can put it on your Facebook, you can pretty much share it anywhere that you can watch YouTube videos. So it would be really fun, actually, if you had watch parties, even at home. If you've got a smart TV, you can turn it on there, just click to YouTube, hit the playlist, and you're going to have about 40 hours of content if you're going through the playlist. So the schedule of events is, I know that Rob did this earlier. I'm going to do a really quick run through. And again, you're going to see all of these boxes popping up because I'm on the back end right now doing some updates. But we're going to start officially at 11:30 with Rob Anderson and myself, kind of kicking off Indie Event. But never mind the furthermore. Brian K. Morris is there at 10 o'clock anyway. So we're like, just include him. Why not? So he actually kicks off at 10 to 11:30. And it's going to be his normal blend of Nevermind the Furthermore. So we have all our Nevermorians kicking off in the morning, promoting one another like he always does. He's got a special blend to do that. Then he's going to take a break for about a half an hour. That's when Rob and I are going to come in, and we're going to chat up the event, what to expect. And, by then I'll have a few cups of coffee in me. Brian is going to be coming back with a special episode. And then we talked to Kevin Guillot. And it's really neat. Roland Mann approached me and said, can we talk about Silverline? I was like, absolutely. So he's doing two shows. He's doing one on Friday and one on Saturday at 2 p.m. So you can mark that slot for Silverline with Roland Mann, and he's going to do a retrospective and then the here and now. 3 p.m., I might have somebody there. Comic Noob is me with special guests, and we're going to be talking about chasing trends in comic books, whether it's profitable or not. As the Comic Noob, when I'm looking at thinking about topics to write about, do I want to create a story that is kind of evergreen, which is what I lean towards, or the trends, like what's happening now, what's going to get off the shelf really fast, and then some of the stuff that maybe stands the test of time a little bit better. So we're going to be talking about that with Rodney Fike from Hasm Productions and Kat Calamia with she is the author of Like Father, Like Daughter. Legend of the Traveling TARDIS is going to be with us all 3 days, so make sure that you tune into them. Mike Barron and Chris Braley. I don't know if Chris is going to be here with us, but I think that Todd Mulrooney is going to be here with us. So we're going to see how that goes. But, if you are on Indiegogo, then check out Florida Man. It's a really cool book, very funny. If you're familiar at all with the Florida Man story, it's it kind of puts the Darwin Awards on notice. Then we have Luke Stone with Comics, Nuts, and Bolts. Too many S's in there, Luke. I don't know. Reserved at 8 o'clock. Again, we're just waiting on a couple of yeses from people. Eric Hodson is going to be here with The Art of War through Indie Volt. JD Calderon has his own show that he's bringing, so I'm not sure exactly what he has planned, but he does really cool interviews, as does Demon Phil. He has a special blend of people who are really burning the midnight oil, but he does have the founders of ClickCon for this event. He will also be here on Saturday night, and then we go into Saturday. I don't know why I'm doing the morning nosh. My morning show through Wild One Forever is usually no more than 10 minutes long. And for me to take up an entire hour is kind of scary to me, because I'm basically going to be doing what I'm doing right now, which is completely rambling and trying not to panic. Hopefully you don't see it in my eyes. Legend of the Traveling TARDIS again. Pieces of Melee. Melanie Dean is a wonderful artist. She is part of the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS group, and she is going to carry over into the next hour. And I hope that she does some live draws. I think she mentioned something about that. And if you haven't checked out her art, you really ought to, because it's very cool. Dan Johnson with Golden Kids Comics is going to be there. I believe that he's going to bring some of his crew to talk about what they have to offer over at Golden Kid Comics. So, this just reiterates the fact that it's not about Geek Insider. It's not about Indie Volt. It's not about Terraform Comics. It's not about me. It is a whole group of us, and we're just saying, you know what? 2020 really sucks. So let's try and get together and really take advantage of our networks, because I have an audience that maybe you don't have access to. But by sharing this experience and being under one banner, hopefully I'll gain some new friends and fans, and maybe some of mine will go and visit you and support you and follow you as well. So it's really an amazing networking opportunity for a lot of people. Geek Speak with Matthew Harris, he's my co host. Um, I don't know if I'm going to leave him. Leave him to the wolves and let him do that one by himself, because it's going to be a long weekend, and I'm on a bunch of panels and stuff like that. And again, I don't want it to be about me, and I don't want you getting sick of my face. But yeah, yeah, I'll play that one by ear. Matthew Harris, if you're watching this, you might have been voluntold. Clever title pending with Brian K. Morris. I'm pretty sure he told me who his special guests were going to be at 3 p.m. on Saturday, but I don't remember who they are. So you have that. 7 Reasons to Back It with Rob Anderson. And there's Chuck with his Rawversations. Rob, if you're listening, I don't think I misspelled that. I think he renamed it. Full Moon Features is something that we're really excited about, because we've got a few of the directors from The Deadly 10, John Lachago, Chris Alexander, Lindsay Schmitz, and they are the directors of 3 different movies that are coming out through Full Moon Features. Now, Blade the Iron Cross was released, and Geek Insider, we had a chance to do an interview with John, and it was really cool. He is such a great character and a good person. So definitely, uh, follow him. Check out Blade the Iron Cross if you love horror, and all things Full Moon Features. So geeky, cheeky, and downright freaky. We don't know what's going to happen there. I mean, if things go really good with the Full Moon crew, it might actually spill over into the 7 o'clock, because Matthew Harris and I are going to be doing both. Um, or I might leave him to the wolves again. So Indie Vault Live is with Varian Grant, and I believe he usually has Randy Zimmerman, sometimes Rob Anderson, and a few other people. I don't want to speak for them. He's got his own show, but I mean, it's really cool to have him here and sharing with the radio. If you don't know, Indie Vault Live, they have a channel on Roku, I want to say. So they have a streaming service on TV. He's got a radio station that has a global audience, actually. And the one time I was watching it, I think they hit about 60,000 listeners, which was really cool. And if anybody's leaving messages, I'm sorry, I'm on my screen and I don't see it. I will visit with you in a bit. And then Rob Anderson again with the Devil's Advocate. We have Russ Explode, and again, I'm going to give him a shout out because he signed up for a YouTube channel. I don't want to say I bullied him into it, but I was like, it might be a good idea. And he goes, all right. So we've got that. Let's give him some love. And we're going to be watching his show. And we finish off Saturday night with Demon Phil again. Then Sunday, Breakfast Buzz, Randy Zimmerman. I don't know how you have the energy, because you do evening shows for Indie Vault, and then, in the morning at 9 o'clock. I personally don't want to set my alarm clock, but I will, because I think it's important to support one another and be part of the live audience. And we have the Traveling TARDIS again, Comics Newswire. Rob Anderson is hosting that, and I think he's talking comic news. Terraform Comics is going to be there. I know that I will be representing them, as I am part of the founding group. And we're going to be talking about some of the things, some of the press releases, and the people that we are going to be promoting very soon, and some of our books and things like that. So there's some exciting stuff coming out of Terraform Comics. Michael Oden is charting a story and script writing. And that is something that I think is very important for people who are looking into writing. It takes practice, obviously, But when it comes to script writing, charting your story, there has to be some sort of organization. So it'd be really neat to get some insight into how somebody does it, who does it for a living. And then we have Ted Davies, who is a writer and artist. He is the creator of Albino Zulu and Retrieve, and he is doing a panel on promoting your peers. And then we have Heroinberg. I am working on getting your graphic up there. So we have MT from Heroinberg, Mauricia Malveau, who is the creator of Music Maker, Marvin Wynn, who is the creator of The Edge, and Benjamin Zeus Barnett, who is an artist, who is part of the, I want to say the Pittsburgh group. Don't quote me on that. But, so they're up there, and it's really cool to see them representing for this event. Then we have Comic Book Advocates with Rob Anderson, and then we have Author Alley. Now, here's the thing. This is the thorn in my side. This is for our authors, but I'm opening it up to writers, comic book writers, because nobody's volunteered themselves. And I'm not about to volunteer anybody. So basically, if I don't have butts for these seats, they are going away and somebody else who wants the slot can take it. But these are really interesting topics. We have the 5 o'clock on Sunday. This is all Eastern time. How to effectively market your books. I've got Travis Gibb. I will be there as well. He is very good at marketing, especially on Kickstarter. I've got marketing in my background, and so I can talk about social media and how important that is to build your network and stuff, so that people know that you exist. Because if they don't, then you're not going to sell books, and that's why an event like this is kind of important too. Because if you aren't selling as many books, you might not be networking and marketing yourself properly. So I'm hoping that I get a few more people to sit in that panel. We've also got another one, which is, are you a pantster or a planner? Effective ways to plan your story arc. That kind of goes with what Michael Oden is doing, except that some people, they have different processes. We all have different processes when it comes to creative things. I am personally a pantster, but I would love to be a planner. I can be a planner, but I'm fucking lazy. Excuse the language. That's what it comes down to. Does it affect my writing? Absolutely. So that might be something to talk about. And I don't want to sit there for an hour talking at you. I would rather have a panel of people to talk with and discuss and learn to see how they do things. Okay, so the 7 o'clock on Sunday is to self-publish or not to self-publish. I have personally tried sending books to agents and trying to get into the big publishing houses, and this is going back like 20 something years. And I used to save my rejection letters, because there's a 98% or 99% rejection rate, even getting an agent. So back then it was, it's such a vanity press, or, if you self-publish, it's just crap. You're just doing it just to get your name out there. It's changed. And that's an indication of what we're doing here with Indie Vent. Independent creators are, we can put out quality things. And some of us demand it. So to be kind of grouped into that whole vanity press thing is, I think it's false now. I think we've gone beyond that. Okay, so 8 o'clock, Phantasmagoria is going to be here. I'm waiting for their media kit so that they can have a little pretty spot there. Geekgasm is at 9. I'm not sure if I'm sitting there, but, we have Lola, I call her Lola, with her huge tiara, is going to be hosting that. I believe Varian Grant is going to be operating the board. And so that'll be a really good discussion. I had a chance to be on a panel with them before, and it was a lot of fun. And then, okay, so this is the last hour. And whether it goes beyond that or not, I have no idea because I plan on getting shit faced. I have a bottle of wine or two that I'm going to be cracking open. Cindy Kep is at an event during the day, which is why she can't be there earlier, but she's going to be there and she'll be sober and trying to keep me in line. And I hope that I'll have a couple other guests kind of wandering in and out of the room, saying hello, and giving us some feedback about the event, whether they enjoyed it, whether they missed it, whether they just want to laugh because I can't feel my teeth at that point, whatever the case might be. But I believe that Carl Witzman and Aunt, um, shoot, I want to say Donna, um, is going to be there. And let me just finish. I'm going to stop sharing my screen there. Okay, so going into comments here. Ted Davies, I appreciate you too, and I want to thank you for participating in this. Pops, there's still some panels and stuff. We can maybe use your butt in one of them. So if there's a time slot and you look at the schedule of events, definitely look through that and see if there's something of interest. We'll see if we can get you in there. Sarah, I was listening in on Rob's live stream, and we're going to get you in front of the camera one of these days. It's not that hard. I'm doing it, and I have a pencil in my hair. Okay, so Christian Basil. Yes, you know what? I love Christian. I really do, because he was at Geek Out Virtual Con, and he was so instrumental in being a host, being available, and allowing me to take a break and not worry about anything. There were a few people who really stepped up. We learned from that, and from that comes this, because if people are bringing their own shows, it's just a lot less work for me because I have other things to do, folks. I do. I really do. And, unfortunately, with getting things organized like this at the last minute, which is my own fault, it just makes it a lot easier to say, oh, you have a show? Hey, let me add you to the playlist. And then I'll add you to the website. Boom, done, easy. And then we're all networking. It's a beautiful thing. Let's see. Okay, so yes, Traveling TARDIS all 3 days. Melanie is going to have her own hour. So on you, Christian. I hope, Sarah, that you do make an appearance. That would be really, really cool. It doesn't have to be long. You don't have to sit for the whole hour, but you might find that you're having fun and we haven't killed you. And it won't kill you. It's, you have to do it at least once to break the ice. And, then it gets a lot easier. And then Crystal Basil, yeah, you put out, yes, you do. If you only saw the thing that Rob was sharing last night, no, it wasn't Rob that shared it. It was Varian. Varian Grant shared this thing, and I never saw Rob Anderson laugh so hard. So if you see something like that, or like a private message or something from Rob, and he's laughing his ass off. It was probably that. I'm not going to share it. I'm going to let him do that because, again, I think I was laughing harder because I have never seen him belly laugh so hard. If you're curious, you need to contact him. Let's see. Do I need more content providers? Christian, that's a good question. I'm looking for authors. Why? Why are you so difficult? Why? Here's the thing. The authors, especially if you have an Amazon author profile, We're putting you on the site with a link to your Amazon profile so that when you are on the show, you have an opportunity to promote yourself. And then people know exactly where to find you with a group of other authors so that we can go shopping for books. But hey, if you don't want to take advantage of that, that's on you. All right. Opportunities there. Um, and that's really it. I don't know that I want to host all of these shows. I don't know that I want to be on all of these panels because I don't want people getting sick of me. And honestly, when it comes to monologuing like I'm doing right now, I don't think that I'm good at it. I'm not, this is not a comfortable place for me. But I'm doing it because I love this event. I love what it's about. And hi, Gary. So Sunday is the author alley. Sunday is when we're looking for butts and seats with specific panels in mind. And I know that you would be perfect for it because you've got a great book, and I know it's available, and I want people to read it and learn about you and your book. So I think that's really about it, guys. I wanted to go through Indie Vent. Oh, here's the other cool thing. If you go to YouTube and you put in hashtag INDEEVENT, our content is there. Nobody else is using that hashtag. And don't you dare squat on it because this is really cool. And that it's a really easy way of sharing it out with your friends and saying, hey, I'm part of this event. Just check out this hashtag. Boom, you're there. YouTube, hit the subscribe button for the people who are participating. Support them. And listen, we can't afford to buy all the books. We can't afford to support all the Kickstarters, but we can hit the subscribe button, the share button. We can tell our friends about it. And that's what this is about. It's about networking, it's about blasting it out there. Your audience is not the same as my audience, but wouldn't it be really cool if our audience met and we became a greater audience? That's not to say follow for follow. I am not a fan for follow for follow. If I have marketing things and that's not your bag, don't follow them. But um, but I have a variety of interests, and I follow a lot of people because of that. And I think that you do too. So it's really important to do that because we need that. The more eyeballs on our stuff, the greater the chance of making a sale and kind of getting through the tough times. And I don't want to talk about what's happening in the world. I want to keep it positive. I want to stay entertained, and I don't want to get instant anger. It's almost like road rage. I don't even turn on the news anymore. I hear about something and then I do my own research, and that keeps me sane. Um, so I want to stay entertained and I want to stay busy, and it's helping me get so much more done. Um, so that's really about it. If you guys have any questions, you can reach out to me on Facebook, or my email address is meredith@geekinsider.com, and I'll try and address them. If there's room on the schedule, I would love to add you. We're getting kind of full up right now. And again, the schedule of events is a roadmap because we don't want to stomp on anybody. We wanted people to bring their own show so that we could build that network. But that doesn't mean you're excluded if you're not on the roadmap. What we tried to do was everybody gets an hour. And that way it allows us to promote each other, But if we get to a point where we have to add people on the half hour, maybe you're stopping a little bit, but again, we don't want to cannibalize the audience either. And nobody's going to be here for all 42 hours. That's ridiculous and too much to ask for. But with the playlist, at least you have an opportunity to go back and watch the replay and support them that way and tune in to the content, because there's a lot of stuff that is going to be kind of evergreen. Um, and what I mean by evergreen is that it stands the test of time. So even if you showed up a week later or a year later, it's still relevant and you can enjoy it, maybe learn from it. And that is really one of my biggest goals with this event, and hopefully with events to come. On that note, what happened with Geek Insider is that back in April when we did Geek Out Virtual Con, we had already thought about doing an Independence Day event. And I had really made plans to go to Tampa Bay Comic Con. I was going to be there. I was going to live stream the entire weekend, and that was going to be it. And then it canceled. And then we had to hit the ground running and try and organize a virtual event. And I had reached out to Tampa Bay Comic Con, and I'm not saying that, we're the savior of conventions. This isn't really a convention. This is an event. That's why we've named it as such, because it's not limited to one area or geographic area. It is broad. It is comic books. It is movies. I'm hoping to land a couple of musicians here to maybe do an acoustic set or two. We've got artists and writers, so we're touching all the bases in the indie realm. And I encourage you to go to indievent.com. That's INDEEVENT.com. And check out the story of why there's two E's. And on that note, guys, 37 minutes of talking. I'm sorry. But that's it. Just check out the site, check out the story, look at the schedule of events, tell your friends about it, put the playlist on your YouTube. Seriously, that helps out a lot. And if you guys are listening and you are part of the event and you haven't scheduled your live stream yet, do that, because I want to get you on the playlist as soon as possible. Because here's the thing, I've got a few shows that I've got to plan for, and I can't do it if I'm chasing you down. Mom eyes. I got you. All right. On that note, guys, I'm out of here. Got work to do. I will talk to you later. If you've got questions, again, Facebook or Meredith at geekinsider.com. Talk to you later. Bye.